Stitchy friends, welcome to the Starlight Stitching Co. floss tube. Today I have to share with you a WIP parade. It's been a few years since I've done a full in-depth WIP parade where I've shown each one and spoke about it in detail. So that is what we're going to do today. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, these are in no particular order. I pulled everything out of all of the project bags. I even took the time to iron them and have them all neatly stacked up for you. So first we're going to start off with a pile of smaller sized charts, and then we'll move on to some bigger charts. First up, we have Cozy Autumn Medley by Emily Call Stitching. And you can see here I have most of the alphabet finished. The crow is done, or almost done. It looks like it needs a stitch in the eye. And the pumpkin is outlined. So I still need to do the tree. Yep, I still need to do the tree and this checkerboard pattern in the ground and finish filling in the pumpkin. A few flowers and leaves. So still a ways to go. Next up, I have Feels Like Fall by Brenda Gervais. This one I picked up from Cecilia's Samplers this last fall when my husband and I went on a trip to Branson for our 20-year wedding anniversary. And here is what I have finished on that. I don't know what this fabric is. I picked it up while I was there at Cecilia's Samplers. I know it's an Atomic Ranch, but other than that, I can't tell you what it was for sure. I didn't get a label with it. So also still have quite a bit to go on that one. Here we have Oh Christmas Tree. It's a monochromatic Christmas stitch, and I have just a tiny small start up here on the tree branches. And this is on a 32 count raw gold linen from Zweigart. Next, I have many of these have hanging threads, and you'll notice almost every single one of them has a needle in it, so lots of needles stuck in here. Honeybee Quaker, this is on, it looks like an 18 count fiddler's cloth, Ada. I don't know, it might be 16, but it looks like it's probably 18. Anyway, it's Honeybee Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and just the teeny tiniest start on that one. Next, I have Clarissa's Garden Sampler by The Proper Stitcher. And I have a decent start on this one. I've got down to here, so I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way finished. And this is on a 32 count, it looks like a Lugana type fabric. I know I got it from Hobby Lobby and it's no longer available. They don't have it with this flower print on it, but I thought it was the perfect print or perfect fabric for this particular pattern because of the flowers in the background. One of the things that had me stuck on this one is this beige color. I'm using all the called for DMC colors. This beigey color kind of fades in, so I might have to switch that out maybe for a different green or something else to make it stick out a little bit more. Next, I previously stitched Stitchy Stars as it's called for here, and I wanted to do a fall version. So I did a fall color conversion, and you can see I just have the tiniest little start. And honestly, I didn't pick this up at all last year. It may even have sat the year before too. But it would still be fun to get that finished. Next is 4th of July Round by Primrose Cottage. I purchased this as a PDF pattern, and I'm stitching it on a 32 count linen, I think. I'm not sure what the maker of the linen is, and I probably picked my own colors for this one instead of using the called for. I'm not sure. If you want those details, let me know. Let's Talk Stitching by Hands On Design. This, just the tiniest start. I mean, that's almost pitiful. just 2 little X's. I'm using the called for DMC on a navy Aida. Probably a 16 count, not sure. Autumn Beauties, this was a mystery stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. And honestly, this one kind of ruined me from doing mystery stitch alongs because I loved the gingham border with the sunflower, but as the rest of the parts were released, it's like, it's just not quite my style. But I think I have a friend that I can finish stitching this for and gift this to her because I think it will fit with her style. So not all is lost. It's on a beautiful Aida fabric. I want to say it was like Queen Anne's lace or something like that. Not sure. America the Beautiful by Stitching with the Housewives. I started this so long ago. It's not even using DMC floss. It's using some sort of random floss that you get in bulk from Amazon. I debated not finishing it because like the stitches aren't great. They're going all sorts of whatever direction, but I do have a decent chunk of it done. So maybe I will go ahead and finish it after all. And this is stitched on a 14 count chalkboard black Aida. Next up is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I've stitched a few of their other bee things, but most of them were on a darker fabric. This one I wanted to go bright with. So I picked up, I can't tell if this is a 14 or a 16 count, but it's a white opalescent Aida. And I know I did change a couple of the colors to brighten them up. Like I think the aqua color is a little bit brighter than what's called for. But just a tiny start. I don't even have this top block finished yet. Super cute though, and I would like to finish it. Another mystery stitch along from Fat Quarter Shop. This one I just didn't get a chance to get it done. I do like how it looks and I want to finish it. This is stitched on a 14 count. What is this? It's a gingham, the gray gingham by Fabric Flare in the called for DMC flosses. So I just have the border and most of the home. I don't even have the heart filled in yet. So I still have everything with the house and the planter and the light pole to do, but it's a pretty small chart, so it would be quick to finish. So I think I'll try to make this a focus piece 1 month this year and see if I can get it knocked out. Next up, this one is really sad and pathetic. I started stitching this sweet little angel ornament as an ornament for my daughter for Christmas. Clearly, I never finished it, and I bet it would take less than a week to get this stitching done if I just buckled down and did it. Now, my daughter's favorite color is green, so I switched out the colors of the dress for green, and then the rest of it, I just need to stitch it. And this is on a Fabric Flare fabric. I don't remember what it's called. It's kind of an aqua color. And this pattern is out of the Just Cross Stitch 2022. That's how long ago I started this, 2022. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to shake the table. Wow, I really need to get that done. Another one from 2022, the Shannon Christine's Designs Christmas Club. She did several releases. This release just has 1 and 2. I do have all of the patterns and all of the fabric cut. I'm using the called for DMC flosses. This is on an opalescent Aida that I Rit dyed myself using some turquoise Rit dye. And you can see I probably have about half of this ornament stitched already. I just need to finish it up. And I think there's beads that get added in here too. So that may be what all the beads I have in my drawer are for. But that also would be a, probably less than a week to finish. All right, this one technically is not an active WIP. So I had started this probably around the same time frame, 2022, and got about halfway done stitching it. I was stitching it on a green, but I had screwed up some of the colors and my stitches didn't look good. So I decided to restart it and I have some 20 count white opalescent Aida fabric in here to restart it on, and all of the called for DMC colors, and I just need to restart it. So the only reason it's included in here is because I have it on my WIP tracking list, but it would be fun to get that out and get it started because it really is a sweet chart. Next, I have Hands-On Design Season 2. So this chart comes Next up is Seasons 2 by Hands-On Design. So this has small charts for each month throughout the year. And I just have a small start on January's. And this looks like it is a linen. Don't know what kind. Let me know if you want to know, and I'll look it up. This is Fa La La by Hello from Liz Matthews. It was included in the Tiger Lily Designs Advent box. Not last year, maybe the year before. And this is on a, what was it called? Sugar Plum Fairy Aida. 14 count or 16 count, not sure which. And I have a small start on the center ornament. I'm pretty sure I was doing the color version on the bottom. This is a more recent start. It's the Countdown to Christmas Bell Pull from Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. This was one of the classes available at the Jingle Ball this last year, and I was lucky enough to be able to grab a kit, and I have numbers 1 through 16 completely done. So I just need to finish 17 through 25 and finish it up into the bell pull. And this is on a Vintage Country Mocha linen. 36 count, I think, because I'm stitching with one strand. And of course, this is all the called for DMC flosses that were included in the kit. Next, I have Le Biscornu and Rose by Giulia Manfredini. This was a kit we received as part of a class at one of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher retreats in Kansas City. She now does the retreats in Branson, and I believe signups for this year's retreat in August is going to be opening up soon. I won't be able to go, but it is a fun retreat if you are in the area and would like to attend. So with this one, we received a kit with all of the threads and the fabric. I've been working on this one quite a bit lately, and I almost have the first side of it done. So here's a picture of the opposite side. It's the same design, just swapping around some of the colors. And there's this one really pretty blue variegated floss, and then this darker red and the pink, which I think are just solid DMCs. But very pretty. I'm looking forward to having the finished Biscornu done this year. Okay, I don't have the photo for this one. This is the Emily Call stitching. I had finished the snowman, and I finished the round ornament one. It was in my finish parade from 2025. And this is the last chart in there for the quilted Christmas tree. I'll try to pop in a picture of the chart if I can find it. And this is, what is it called? The Monthly Samplers by Country Cottage Needleworks. I've finished a few of them for myself. I intended on making a set for my mom, and I never even finished all of the ones for myself. This is a teeny tiny start on April. And this is some fabric that I coffee tea dyed myself. And the called for DMC threads. I should probably try to finish this sometime. Okay, so now I have finished with all of my small cross stitch WIPs. I'm going to reset and we'll go through the larger WIPs. Okay, now I'm ready to go through all of my larger WIPs. If you can tell, it's quite a stack. First, I have Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais. This one hasn't seen a whole lot of love lately either. I'm pretty sure I started it in 2023. I'd have to look at my sheet, but I just have the very bones of this outer border finished, the verse here, and part of One Little Bird. And it's such a pretty chart. I really want to get it finished. There's just not enough time to work on all the things. Not enough hours in the day. Next, I have Love and Learning by Emily Call Stitching. And this one I did my own color conversion. And it's not even a 1-for-1 color conversion. Like some of the colors I put in a spot that had a different symbol on it. And this one I am nearly finished with. I just have to finish stitching this blue in the house and I would be totally done, because I don't plan on doing this little flower border underneath. I don't think it really needs it. And yeah, that's it. I just have to fill in the house. So I'm hoping to pull this out and get that filled in this month so I can have a finish on it and get it hung up in our homeschool area. AKA our eat-in kitchen. Next up I have Harvest Moon by Annie B's Folk Art. And as you can see in this one, I have the house outlined. The house is ready to be filled in. And I have a good start on one of the pumpkins. So lots to still do on this one. I had hoped to get that one out and stitch on it last fall, but like I mentioned in my last video, I was just kind of burnt out on stitching, so I didn't get to it. It's okay. This is the Mary Bovee sampler, and the photograph on the chart does not do this any justice whatsoever. I mean, no shade to the designer, but that's an awful photo. So a lot of people were stitching this on a dark fabric. I chose to go with a lighter fabric, and I switched out some of the colors. So as you can see, I'm doing my alphabet in blue instead of white, and I'm doing the little house in blue also, because blue is one of my favorite colors. This is stitched on an Atomic Ranch linen. It must be 36 count, and it's in the color Freeze. Excuse me while I remove the dog hair. Next, I have my 12 Days of Christmas Stockings by Annie B's Folk Art. So it comes with 12 ornament designs. This one was a recent Whip Wheel Wednesday pull, and I was able to get all of day 1 totally finished and start of the branch for day 2. And this is stitched on a 32 count raw gold linen from Zweigart. Next, I have the Tiny Modernist Gingerbread House. This is from the Jingle Ball of 2024. And this is being stitched on a raw linen from Zweigart, probably 32 count based on the number of threads I'm using. So I have the white done for the front of the house, and I started on the side. And that's as far as I got. But I'll be using Called for DMC on that as well. It's really cute, and I would like to have it done. Next is Little House Needleworks, Home of a Needleworker. This isn't even that big of a chart. I picked this up from Cecilia's Samplers one of the first times that we went down to Branson, and just got the teeniest, tiniest little start, not even 4 full chevrons. So about that much of it is done, and it would not take too much time to finish this. So maybe I can try to pop this out and get some stitches on it this year. It would be a really sweet one to have done and framed. So Americana Blue by October House Fiber Arts. This is my current Sunday stitch, and I'm using Bluebonnet thread from Weeks Dye Works. For whatever reason, I had 6 or 7 skeins of this Bluebonnet thread in my stash. I don't know why. And I decided to use that with a nice neutral colored fabric. This is a 20 count Weathered Stone, I think, from Atomic Ranch. And I'm making pretty good progress on this. I've been pulling it out every Sunday, and that's what I stitch on Sundays. And I'm just starting this line of border here. So considering I just started at mid-January and we're only approximately a month in, I think it'll still be done by the end of the year. I certainly hope so. It's beautiful. Next, I have Goodness and Mercy by Teresa Kogut. I just love the verse on here and the border and everything about it. The colors are a little on the more muted side than I would normally choose, but I am using the called for DMC. I think I picked a different blue for the house maybe, but I'll share that when I get to that part. I don't know what this fabric is. It's probably an 18 count because I'm stitching with 1 strand, but let me know and I can find out if you would like. This one should be a Sunday stitch. Maybe it will be at some point. Oh, bumped the table again. Next, I have the Scarlet House Roses for Ruby. I recently shared this on my Instagram because it was pulled for a recent WIP Wheel Wednesday, and I was able to get this rose flower finished and a lot more work done on the leaves. As I shared in my Instagram post, there's a lot of things about this chart that I just do not care for whatsoever. These little red and white, I guess they're supposed to be strawberries or something in the border. All I see when I look at them are fishing bobbers, so I just can't. And I don't know what these birds are supposed to be. They're pretty funky. So I definitely don't want to stitch those. I think I'm just going to stitch this center bouquet and vase and then get like an oval frame to put it in and call it done. It's on this really pretty sweet pink. I'm pretty sure it's a Weeks Dye Works 28 count linen because it's very thin and see-through. Next, I have Serenity by Teresa Kogut. This is a really pretty sampler pattern, and I just have a small start. I am stitching this on a 20 count Aida that I dyed with some taupe dye. Pretty sure it was taupe. It came out a little bit darker than what I was going for, but I do still like it. The white shows up on it beautifully, and the house will be gorgeous once it's done. This is a big chart. It's going to be hanging around for quite some time. Now I could do like I did year before last and focus on one big chart and stitch on it all year long and get it done. But when I did that, I didn't get hardly anything else finished. That's why there are so many WIPs still hanging around from 2023 that don't have much work on it, because I spent all of 2024 pretty much working on Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. And I did get that finished and framed, and it's beautiful and I love it. It's hanging in my living room. But I don't, at least right now, want to spend an entire year working on just one piece. Next, I have Christmas at Hollyberry Farm by Stacy Nash. This is another one where the picture does not do it justice. This is actually an old pattern where it's a photograph that is stuck to the outside of the pattern holder. And I just have a small start on this, I don't know what it is, pine branches and berries border. So I've only got 2 of them and part of this 3rd one done, and that is it, but it looks stunning. This is all DMC floss. The berries are 2 or 3 different colors of red. I think it's 3 different shades of red for each of the berries. And then the branches, it's so beautiful. And it's going to be lovely when it's done, but it's definitely going to take a dedicated amount of stitching. Next, I have Winter Cardinals, I believe is what it's called. It is a DMC kit, and this is the fabric that came in the kit. I started stitching this, I want to say in 2006 or 2007. It has been hanging around, just sitting in a corner for a very long time. And I need to get it out and finish it. I did pull it out for quite a while last year and got a lot filled in, but there is still some more work to do in some of the pine branches and such. I don't have the cover photo. I don't know what happened to it. I think it just got destroyed because it was so old. But yeah, I would love to have this finished and hanging on my wall. And there's also all of the back stitching that still needs to be done. The hardest part with this one is having to really study the pattern and really study what I've stitched to see what I've done and what I still need to do. I think I was even going through and like highlighting the chart as I stitched to indicate that I had done that. And of course I have the thread going with the needle. This is for the half stitches on the snow. It'll be really lovely if I ever manage to get this finished. It needs to be a focus. I need to knock it out. It's been sitting around my craft room for far too long. Next, I have another gigantic Teresa Kogut chart. This is Land That I Love. It is a beautiful patriotic sampler, and it would be lovely to have it finished before the end of the year, since this year is the 250th anniversary of the United States. But I still have quite a lot of work to do. And like I said, I don't really want to focus on just one big piece all year long. So I will definitely try to pull this out and get some work in it on this year. Maybe I'll focus on it during like May and July for the patriotic holidays. But I don't know if I'm really going to strive hard to get this done this year. We'll see. It's beautiful. I'm stitching it on a 32 count raw gold linen from Zweigart. The gold sparkles just really adds to it. Last time I had pulled it out, which has been quite a while, I finished up this boat here and I put in the eagle. I don't even know if you can see it here. Let me scoot it down so you can see a little bit more of what I have done. And I've got the bones of the border done all the way around, but I need to add the flowers the rest of the way around. And there's just a lot more to do. And these buildings down here, they are ginormous. It took forever just to get this far, and I have so much filling to do. And then there's another giant building and then another building in the middle. So beautiful, stunning chart. It will be amazing to have it done and hanging up in my home, but I don't want it to be a focus right now. Now this one, I can definitely get this one done this year. This is American Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. It's really not that big of a chart. And I have all of the grassy area outlined. So this is the width of the chart. I have all of the sailboats and the fish and the words done in the bottom. So that area just needs to be filled in with blue. And then, oh, it looks like I do need to do the flags on the top of some of the sailboats. And of course, finish filling in the grass. I am not using called for colors on this one. I pulled my own, I think it was mostly fancy flosses, maybe some DMC, not sure. But yeah, I have to finish the other houses here, finish the roof here, and then do all of this floral stuff in the sky. and fill in the ocean. So still quite a bit of stitching, but I could definitely get this one done this year. Next, I have another gigantic, very detailed chart. This is Oh Holy Night by Stony Creek. There is a lot of color changes and confetti and quarter stitches and back stitching, and it's just a chart that I really need to sit down at a table and focus. There's 78 different colored DMC threads to sort through, and it's a piece that's going to take a long time. I haven't pulled it out and stitched on it in forever, but I really need to because it's going to be stunning. So as you can see, I have all the stitching done for Mary and Baby Jesus. I can't do any of the back stitching until I have most of the rest of the regular stitching done. So I'm just gonna have to keep working through the confetti on that. And this is stitched on a 32 count Crystal Dwarf linen. So it's got the opalescent sparkles and it's dyed this beautiful blue. She needs a lot of work still. Next, I have The Light of Winter by Brenda Gervais. This I am stitching on a 32 count raw gold linen. It's one of my favorites, as you can tell. And I am using the called for DMC on this one. And I have most of the border done, I think. I have to finish adding like this color in the leaves here, and then adding in the berries and the centers of these pink flowers, and then the border would be totally and completely done, and it would just be the stuff in the middle that needs finished. Very pretty. I would love to have it finished, as with all of them. I love all of my charts. Next is My Blue Heaven by Summerhouse Stitchworks. I started this in 24 for my birthday start, and I actually ordered a Vicky Clayton silk conversion for this one, and I started it for my birthday start, and it really doesn't have more than a couple days worth of stitching on it. I just haven't pulled it out. You can see by the fabric it's not a huge chart. It's got this absolutely stunning blue lacy border and would be a lot of fun. There are quite a few specialty stitches in this one, so it's not just straight cross stitches. There's a lot of satin stitch and some other funky things going on in there, but it's a lot of fun. Next up, I have At Home by Brenda Gervais. This is such a sweet and delicate chart, and I am stitching on I'm pretty sure it's a Fox and Rabbit Mayflower linen. 32 count probably. It's a very pretty creamy color, and the DMC flosses look stunning on it. I'm pretty sure they're DMC. Maybe I did get the overdyes for this one. I don't remember. If you want to know, I will tell you. I just have these little leaves left to add to the rest of the border, and then the border is totally done, and I can start working on all of the fun stuff in the middle. So pretty. Next, I have Primrose Cottage Stitches Welcome to the North Pole. And this is stitched on a 28 count mushroom Lugana. And I just have this section and this section done. It was part of a stitch along, and obviously I fell off the bandwagon and just plain did not keep up. It looks like I still need to do the back stitching on this section. And then of course all of the other sections down here. Cute, fun, bright colors. just needs more time. All right, this is Peace and Goodwill by Brenda Gervais. And you can see I switched up the fabric color. I'm using another piece of that 32 count Crystal Dwarf. And I'm using a color conversion of my own because I did not have the called for colors. I think I need to switch out the thread for this text here because you can't really see it very good on the fabric. So yeah, I need a lot more work on it. Super pretty, would love to have it up. Can't get my fingers to work. Next, I have a Dimensions stocking, Santa's truck stocking that I started working on. And like these dimension kits, they just take a lot of focus. There's a lot of confetti, takes a lot of time to get anywhere. And as you can see, I have just the windshield area of the truck done. On these more complicated charts like this, I do try to grid the fabric. The reason I didn't on the Stony Creek Oh Holy Night is because I was having trouble counting to grid on the linen and I didn't want to make a mistake. So instead of gridding, I'm just stitching close to the features that I've already stitched. But the grid is helpful to make sure I stay on count when working on these dimensions kits on the Ada. So as you can see, there's still a lot more work to do on that one. And then last but not least, I have This I Know by Plum Street Samplers. I don't know what fabric this is that I'm working on. It is beautiful. I pulled this one out lately and I've been putting a lot of work into it. And I kind of hope to have this done by Easter this year. Wouldn't that be fun? So I have half of the sheep done in the grassy area. I'm adding the dark parts, the legs and the heads of the sheep. And then I'll start on the other half of the sheep, and then I can start filling in the grassy area. After that, all I have left is the secondary color inside the veins of the leaves. And then backstitching the cross on the top of the church. And then this one's done. So hopefully we can have this one as a finish for Easter this year. I would just love that. Thank you so much for sticking around with me while I talked through each of the active WIPs that I have. I hope to spend some time working through some of those this year and get my WIP count down before the end of the year. If you have any questions about fabrics or threads used, feel free to leave those in the comments and I will respond with those details as soon as possible. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching through. Have a good day. Bye.